The intertidal zone, one of the harshest environments on the planet, with a constant change in tide. Temperatures go from feeling like the Arctic to being scorched like a desert. At high tide, the ocean batters the landscape with immense force. Even though this landscape looks static. Once the tide retreats, it leaves behind pools of water amongst the rocks, with creatures scurrying to hide from predators and the heat of the sun. To discover what lives in this hidden world, we have to venture under the surface. This is a shanny, the most commonly found blenny along British shores. It is amazingly adapted to life in the intertidal zone, with the ability to survive out of water for long periods of time if trapped. But luckily for this one, he has found a rock pool to stay in and is on the search for a safe place to hide until the tide returns. Unfortunately, there are others who also need a place to hide. A rock goby. This fish is much larger than the shanny and is also on the search for a hiding spot. Unluckily for him, the goby also wants the same place and is not afraid to force him out. For now, he is going to have to find somewhere else to hide. Common prawns are probably one of the most familiar species to see in British rock pools. Their success is due to the ability to survive during rising water temperatures and with lack of oxygen. If the oxygen level becomes too low, they are able to beat their back limbs near the surface. This slowly increases the oxygen level, allowing them to survive until the tide rises again. But for this one, the oxygen doesn't seem to be an issue. Instead, she is having a good clean. They are also mainly scavengers, eating anything they can find. And often pestering their neighbours, like this squat lobster, who has also found himself a little snack and doesn't want to share. Some are even brave enough to approach some of the more dangerous neighbours, such as this snake-like anemone. Anemones use their incredibly sticky tentacles to catch any unfortunate prey that wanders into their path. Then they drag their prey into their mouth. They may seem fairly lifeless, but in fact that's far from the truth. Filming them over a long period of time reveals their amazing behaviour. Using the sucker on the base to wriggle around, they are able to move themselves into the best feeding locations. Hermit crabs are always on the hunt for a new home, searching high and low. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. Uprighting himself, the search continues. This one, however, has found a shell and is investigating it, getting a look at multiple different angles. And even sorting through the trash left behind. Before she is rudely interrupted. Having one last look, she decides it's not her dream home, possibly put off by the irritating neighbours. This murky pool full of large rocks is home to one of the most iconic rockpool species, the edible crab. Growing up to 20 centimetres, it is one of the largest species to find. This one, however, is a juvenile and is only about half the size. Finding a place to hide is difficult though, so he decides to make his own hiding spot. Anchoring himself in the sand, then using his pincers to lift the rock in front of him. With this immense strength, he is able to push the rock back, jamming it into place, creating a little cave for himself. Shoveling the sand around him, making sure he is out of sight, safe from predators and the incoming tide. Waves begin to crash above. Sounds like he has made it just in time. As the waves crash into the rock pools, they fill them up with fresh cold water, filled with nutrients. Once the tide has risen, it hides this hidden world, but these amazing creatures continue to survive under these changing conditions. Free to explore the ocean once more, until their hidden world is revealed again when the tide goes out.